Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to askNK. So today, just as promised, we will be taking a look at the Metahuman sample file. Now for those who like to take a look at our first reaction, and see what you should know about this, you can simply go over to the link in the description and take a look at the video which we did prior to this one. Now if you would like to download this, you can also go over to the link in the description that will take you over to the marketplace where you can get this. Or if you already have the Epic Games launcher, you can simply pop the launcher open, go over to the section called Learn, and you would see that we have the Metahumans right here. From here, you can download the file and you can work with it, or you can go over to the marketplace directly here and you can also grab this file and also start working with it. Now first things first, we'll talk about how you can export this file from here and what you would find as problems and also what you should be expecting. Other things is, those who would like to work with the AR kit, you want to see how these things work. We're definitely going to take a look at how that one actually is. So starting off, this looks awesome. It looks very, very awesome. There is no guess saying about it. It is beautiful. And if you just want to preview this, you want to see how everything works, it is super simple. All you need to do is go right here where you have the play, click down here and make sure you have the simulate instead of the selected viewport. Make sure you have simulate and then press the playback button. Now once you press the playback button, automatically this is going to do all of the necessary caching, the post-processing and all that beautiful stuff, and it will start playing. And as it's playing, you can also notice that we have all of this stuff. So this is basically what you'll be getting. So let's also zoom all the way back so you can see. So this is definitely what you'll be getting. If we turn on the audio, you also heard that. Now if you don't have a heavy graphic card, because this is actually GPU intensive, if you don't have a heavy graphic card, there are certain things that you can do. First things that I would suggest that you get to do to actually drop down the quality and also get something that you can work with is by simply going over to the settings and down here where you have your engine scalability. Right here I have mine set to cinematic because I'm working with the RTX 5000. Huge shout out to the folks at NVIDIA for making this possible. You can actually turn yours down to medium. So you can turn on yours, or you can turn them down by default, one after the other, or you can simply just click on this button and turn these things down. So it has level of details from cinematic to epic, high, medium, and also low. So if you turn this down to low, it's going to drag all these things down. And of course you would also notice that it updates right here, and you can see that the texture updates, the mesh is the same. All right, so nothing really changes. The mesh seems to be the same, the texture updates, and you also notice that the quality also drops down as well. Now you can also click right here and also drop down the quality for, you can drop down the quality for the material, or you can actually increase this one as well. So with this one said, let's also look at some of the things that I kind of noticed. So one of the things that I noticed is these meshes exist independently. Okay, so it's not like you grab the entire mesh as one piece. They all exist independently, and it means that the head model is a model that exists on its own and the body exists on its own. Now this is also something that I think a lot of people need to have at the back of the mind, because when you're working with it, of course you can notice that you have the body, but then the face or the head actually exists independently. So for an example like this, if we simply go all the way down, you would notice that I have this section within the mesh, and if I simply double click this, it opens up a brand new window, and right in that window is where we can start doing some testing. So we can test to see what the blend shape looks like, and also test to see what we will be having, or the kind of controls that we would have access to. So by simply going all the way close, so let's select that joint, press F on the keyboard to frame this in, and let me zoom right there. I mean, look at the quality of what you have. So you have this very high quality stuff, and this doesn't look bad. And actually this is not this is not like the quality thing, right? So you can also play with the level of detail depending on what you want. You can also do that same thing here. So you can see that we have this beautiful stuff. Now if you want to take a look at the morph targets, you can also see the morph targets from here. So I am definitely going to scroll down so you can see it has a huge set of morph targets that you can play with. And if I click on this button and go right over here and click on this, you would notice that we have this morph targets happening. Now I can pause this and I can go all the way back and go forward to preview and see what I want. So at this point I can stop at a given point like so to see some detail, see how the teeth is done, kind of think that level of detail doesn't look so good, so I'm just going to crank that up a bit. All right, so yeah, we can take a look and see what we want, and you can also choose to play with the model and also see that. Now if you want to see what blend shape is controlling any of this, you can also move this, and you would notice that we have this blend shapes like so. So I have this, you know, we have this one, and we can also scroll through and see some stuff, and this is just buttery smooth the way it works. It just looks super nice. Now once you have this done, all right, if you want to play with the blueprint, you can see that blueprint there. If you want to see how the physics work, if you click on this button, it's going to create a brand new tab which is attached to this window, so it's creating a brand new window tab, and you can also take a look at the physics. All right, so let's talk about some fun stuff, and this is more like one of the things I know a lot of you guys will want to do, and it includes playing with a live link and, you know, driving this particular character with your facial performance. And how you can get this one happening is if you have an iPad or you have an iPhone, from iPhone X all the way up, you can actually, you know, work with this and do something very lovely. So I do have the iPad Pro 2020, and it does have this very lovely camera feature that we're going to test out with this one. Now by default, if you open up your iPad, or if you have an iPhone X, if you go over to the Play Store, you will be able to download this particular app known as the Live Link Face. So what we're going to do is just simply click to open up that, and ta-da, this is it. And so we have this here. And how do we drive this character? By using our facial performance. And how we can do that is very simple. So by default, right here, the folks at Epic Games have already set this one up, so we don't really have a problem with it. All we need to do is go over to where we have the windows, and then you need to make sure that you have the live link. By default, how you get these things happening is by actually going over to your plugin section and making sure that you have this turned on, and you restart your Unreal Engine, and then you'll be able to get this. Now you would notice that mine is already set up. And how do you set up yours? So if you would like to set up yours, this is very easy. Okay, so how you can do that is by simply going over to your settings, and that just simply allow that one pop open, and then you go over to your network section, and within your network you need to go over to Ethernet. Now from the Ethernet, click on the network icon right there, and you'll be able to notice that you have your IP address. Now that IP address, you need to plug that into this, which is your mobile device. And how do you do that? You go over to the gear icon, go over to where you have the live link, and then you click on that button. Now you also notice that you have targets, and if you like to add new targets, you can simply click on add new target, and then you add the IP address which you have from your PC, put that here, and the default port is 11111, which is actually 5 ones, and that is all you need. So with that done, you will be able to connect directly to Unreal Engine, and that is how simple it is for you, you know, to fix this and get cool stuff happening for you. All right, so once you have this ready, the next thing which we're going to do is make sure, remember previously what we did was just select this. The next thing which you need to do is just select this object. So let's just go back and forth, select this. I'm going to drag this all the way up, and right here you will notice that we have the live link face subject. So if you've already connected that, you would notice you have 1 and 2 turned on. You'll notice that they are all active, and then you need to select your mobile device. Okay, that is how, you know, that's how easy it is. Select your mobile device, make sure that you just have it selected, and then you need to also turn on the live link face head. So once this is ready to rumble, press the playback button, and something is going to happen. The first thing which will happen is it's going to capture the facial performance, and automatically it will move on to do the whole pre-recorded sequence. Okay, so let's just look at it. So if I press the playback button, I mean, these are the things that you have to face. Yay! Okay, now it is going to do the recorded motion. All right, so you hear it talk. Let me actually turn on the audio.
Metahumans are high-fidelity digital characters created by you, the user.
All right, so now that we have that, how do you now drive the entire face and not, you know, have that cut and nail thing? So how you can do this is very simple. Right, so all you need to do is go down here, and because we already know what is making this happen, we know it's the sequence, so we need to get rid of that. And for this, I'm just going to press the delete button to get this out of the way, and just simply delete that and say yes, because we don't want that. We want to get our facial performance. And I'm just going to go ahead and press the playback button this time, and let's see what we're gonna get. Yay! Okay, so I did notice that there's a little bit of discrepancies in the way it works, and it's because, first off, I guess the mapping seems not to be too accurate. Let me take off the glasses and see. All right, so the mapping seems not to be too precise. That is one thing. So I don't think the glasses was a problem. Something else which I did notice, as well is I think for the eyes, you can do all of the necessary things you can do with the AR kit, right? But I can do things like this, and you notice I have to like push the boundaries a little bit more, so it doesn't really get those subtle details. Like right now, if I talk and I don't really open up my mouth so much, you get to notice that I don't get that audio out a lot. Like, you know, the mouth movement doesn't really happen that much. Okay, so you need to push it a little bit more, like, yeah, you know, you have to push it a bit more for you to get that happening. I don't really like the texture of this, so let's crank this up. We're using RTX, baby, so let's crank this up. And that's also something else that you need to keep in mind if you are going to, if you would like actually to work with this. You need to have a good graphic card. Okay, so you really need to have a good graphic card for you to get the most out of it. So let me also switch, because I did notice that there is several kinds of camera here. So I'm just going to switch to this one, which is a pretty nice one. Just look at the details, man. Looks good, doesn't it? Details is good. Look at the eyes. Nice. Let's see what we get if we push this over to cinematic. Ooh. Okay. Oh, the wrinkles. I didn't show you guys that. Ooh. So if I do this, you can see we have that wrinkle. I can fold this part. You could notice that we have them blood vessel thing going on here. I can, you know, do some stuff like that. And yeah. So you can also choose to tie this same thing to the other character. So by default, there is a wall right here that seems to block the both things. So I'm just going to delete that. And you can see we have a different character right over at this point. So this is also another character. So you can choose to activate this same thing for the other character and get the most out of it as well. So for that one, what we can do is we can actually drive them both at the same time. So what we can do is simple. I'm just going to go back, select this. We don't need that. All right. And I'm just going to also press G on the keyboard because I would like to see all this extra stuff. And let me just move this about a position like so. And let's press F to zoom right in. Okay, so I would also go in there and select the main object. So I'm just going to select this object, and you notice it's called BP Human. And we'll go over here and let's see if we can drive the both of them together. And now this is going to be sick. Okay, so let's do that. We'll just simply make sure that we have that there. Move backwards. Ooh, baby. Let's see. Let me see. Maybe I should actually move this to closer. I know. Yeah. So maybe we can move them closer together. Now I have some things that's running in the background, and I'll explain to you guys what they are as we proceed. And I guess these are the reasons. I mean, it's like one of the reasons why we're having all this a bit of a throttling that is going on there. So I would also move this right to a position like so. Okay, so let's zoom a bit more closer and let's see what we have. I'm just gonna select this character, press F on the keyboard so I can zoom right to them. All right, so now I have them both at the same place at the same time. Now let's press the playback button and see what we can get. Oh, did you see that? Oh, yee. Okay. So yeah, there's a bit of a delay. I think, you know, we're driving multiple characters. Of course, you notice that this delay is definitely something that you would need to see. But this looks good. I mean, this looks good. Looks really good. So I'm just gonna go ahead as well and show you guys something else. So if you like to play with the scene, you want to take out some things, you want to put in some lights, you want to do all that stuff, yes you can. It's reporting some errors because of the playback, no problems. So yes you can. And you can also notice that there's a high quality of detail across this stuff. All right, there's a high quality of detail across them, And if you go to the content section, I think this is also something I wanted to share with you guys. If you go to the content section, and I think right here within the sample files, you would notice that you have a couple of things. So within the materials, you would notice that you have materials for the clothing. If you go to the female, we also have some medium stuff like the weight, and we have the face, we have the look dev, and we have all that stuff. So another thing which I tried to do was to see how this will perform if you choose to export this out. So I know most of you guys might have heard, or you probably saw the previous video where we said that you can push this thing and you can get it out of the way and move it over to apps like Maya and so on. And yes, it's possible. There's a huge possibility of things that you can do with that. And what I'm looking at is the fact that if we move this over to Maya right now, that this comes. So what I did, actually, before I even jump over here, what I did was to simply hit the select. So I just did a selection right here, go over to file, and went over to export, selected. And once you do that, what you would get is this model right here in Maya without the face. Now you don't see the face, but you see all of the face, you know, the face joints, okay? And you can see how much face joints that went into this. This is ridiculous. I mean, the number of face joints that you're getting with these things is just crazy. It's just super crazy. There's a lot, all right? There's a lot of stuff happening here. So you have this, and you can see fine details. Now, for those who might want to grab this file, you want to play with it, you want to tweak it, you want to use it for your next animation shot, I guess you can. Now, I don't know about licensing, but I know you can. You can grab this one and work with it. So you can actually see the whole thing works perfectly fine. And since it didn't come with a face, I decided to try out opening this in a different Maya file. So I also exported the head separately, and I also noticed that this was just coming in. Now I don't know, maybe I had some export problems. I have no idea what I did wrong, but on the other hand, I also did go over to just the face and grabbed just the face and tried to export just the face, and that didn't happen as well. So I kept having, you know, hitting some roadblocks, and yeah, I mean, just look at the hair details in this thing. Looks crazy. Now, with all this said, yes, you can export this. I still haven't found a very good way of exporting the face, but I did find a way of exporting the whole body. And probably if I do that, I might put that in the community, or maybe put that on the Discord, so you guys will be able to see that. Now, the next thing which I would like to share with you guys is something I noticed from the trailer. So right now, if we take a look, so let's actually skip over to that part where we have this. Oh yeah. So if we skip over to this part, there was something which I sort of missed, which I think, let me just bounce this up, which I think most of you guys may have also noticed. So right here, we have, you know, we talked about the fact that we had the blend, move, and sculpt. These are features that are likely, or, you know, tool sets that might likely come over to the tool. But right over here, I noticed that there is a button. Now, this button might be the button where you can load in audio, and you can actually preview this audio and maybe test this audio with the character. So in most cases, I have a strong belief that this might be a tool that once it's available, you can load audio and test out things like, you know, the mouth movement, test out the gestures with the facial performance, and see how that works. And also right over here, I also did notice that there might also be some form of lighting feature that might be added to this. So maybe from here you could change the lighting and stuff like that. And these are some of the things that I just came to notice. And right over here as well, there is this /edit. This happens in a split second. You probably would miss it. So there is an edit blend space. So I guess this is probably to edit the entire facial performance of, you know, the facial structure. And I guess with this other button, which is here, I guess this is also the button that brings out that dialogue where you can start pushing things directly within your viewport. Yeah, maybe something like that. I guess maybe this button might be it. You know, the button that brings out this, probably. So I guess that's the button. All right, so I guess maybe with this, you have something like this where you can start pushing this stuff. And maybe with this next button, let's also move that. I guess maybe with a button like this, you can actually start moving things directly within your UI. So these are like some of the things I sort of noticed, and I felt maybe it might just come in handy if lots of you guys get to take a look at it one more time, and also appreciate how much work that the folks at Epic Games have actually put together just to make sure that this is available and, you know, accessible to everyone. So for those who like to play with this, maybe you want to grab it, you want to play with it, you want to see what is going on with it, link to this is going to be in the description. It was fun playing with this tool, and yes, you can actually get these things out, retarget them, and also drive these things. I am still having a bit of an issue trying to export this. Probably maybe there was something I did wrong or something I just didn't really get right, but that way, but with this, or something I just didn't get right, but hopefully I will actually, you know, get this out of the way and show you guys how much things that you can do with it. For those who would like to have access to like things like the blueprint and stuff like that, yes, you will be able to have access to that, and you can also have access to tons of other things right here. Like for example, you have the meshes for the clothing. All right, so, and if you're also exporting this out, you also have the materials which you can also grab and export out depending on what you would like to do with these things at the end of the day. And that's about it. I would like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section, and of course, if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give it a like, and don't forget to share with a friend. And if you're new here, it's going to be amazing for you to hit the subscribe button and also turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or the next update. And I'd like to see you guys again with a tutorial update, Free Friday, Tutorial Tuesday, tips and tricks, things like this. Peace.